Hey everybody, this is Kimberly and you're watching Thriving on a Budget. I recently started updating my 72-hour kit. I wanted to explain to you what I've changed and why to see if this can be helpful to you. So one of the things that I've changed, because in the past I've always done like ramen and canned goods and oatmeal pouches and things like that. The problem with those is like oatmeal pouches, bugs can get into them. The ramen can kind of get broken up over time, and like the canned goods eventually can kind of degrade and expire, but also they're kind of heavy. And so after having to update my family's 72-hour kits at least 2 or 3 times over the years, I finally decided to update them in a longer term way so I can just kind of set it, forget it, leave it there, and have it be usable for what I need. So one of the things I did is I replaced all those canned goods with freeze-dried camping meals. And I'm really happy about that choice because it made the backpacks so much less heavy, because when I was rotating them and changing them out, I didn't realize that if I'm carrying multiple of them, how heavy they can be. So if you have like a bunch of little kids and you might end up carrying their 72-hour kit at some point, you probably don't want their 72-hour kit to be super, super heavy. So I'll show you some of the fun things that I found, and we can talk about places you can get these. So this one specifically is called Backpacker's Pantry. I know there's a lot of people that really like these. They didn't have very many of them at my store, so I only picked up 2. So one of them's in my kit, one's in my daughter's kit. I plan on looking for more of these in the future, but the ReadyWise ones I was really excited about. So these ones, as well as these ones, the instructions are on the back. They basically tell you to rip these open, take out the oxygen absorber, pour in boiling water, and then let it sit, stir, and let it sit. And you because they're foil, they help keep it nice and hot, and so it kind of self-cooks it, similar to like those ramen cups that you do. So it's pretty cool. So this one's Louisiana red beans and rice. It was a good price. That's why I grabbed this one specifically. This one's got 1 serving. The ReadyWise ones have 2.5 servings. So these ones you could split with people if you needed to. I looked up online like people's assessment of these, and I have heard really good reviews on the ReadyWise like the Adventure Meals camping pouches. Not everybody necessarily likes the ReadyWise buckets as much, the ones that are meant for long-term storage at home. But the Adventure Meals that people take camping, I've heard really, really good reviews about these. So these are kind of fun. And like I said, these would work really good in a 72-hour kit, which is what I got them for. So I got a couple breakfasts and a couple dinners, and I plan on getting more of these later. This was just to specifically rotate out the canned goods that was making my backpack heavy, as well as make this be longer term storage so I don't have to keep replacing them. Okay, so these ones, I got 2 of the breakfasts. I got the apple cinnamon because that's what they had at my store. I really like apple cinnamon, so I wasn't disappointed about that. I got the lasagna one, which this one has amazing reviews. If you look online, a lot of people really love this one in specific. And this one I think would be really good for kids because it's a very kid-friendly type meal. It's pasta, red sauce, and freeze-dried sausage. So that looks like something that most people would eat. I also picked up a chili mac. So like I said, these are the ones they happen to have at my store. And I plan on getting a couple more to round out my 72-hour kit. So I got a couple dinner items, a couple breakfast items, and like I said, these are 2.5 servings on the ReadyWise one, so you could split these with someone if you needed to. Something else I've changed up is how I'm doing water. So in the past, I would do like water bottles. The problem with that is the plastic's going to degrade over time and they will leak. So if you don't want to have to rotate your 72-hour kits very often, things like 5-year shelf life water pouches. So water pouches and water filter water bottles, these can be a better option for your 72-hour kits if you are like me and you don't want to keep rotating them or making sure nothing's leaking or melting. So places you can get water filter water bottles, you can get these. This one I think I specifically got from the LDS cannery like 6 or 7 years ago. I believe that's where I got these ones. I don't really remember. I actually might have gotten these from my husband's uncle. I'll be honest, I don't remember where we got these, but we have a couple of them. But they do have water filter water bottles from the church cannery, or the LDS home storage center. So that's a place you can get water filter water bottles. You can get water filter water bottles on Amazon. You can get them at the camping section at Walmart sometimes. So kind of look around and see what you can find if that's something that matters to you. But I like this kind of idea because if you were stranded for a while, you go get fresh water. There's a filter through this, and you just drink straight through the top. Other options are things like life straws. I just like this because then you can kind of carry the water with you afterwards. Water pouches are a good idea as well. In the past, I didn't understand the purpose behind these, because I remember when I was like learning about emergency preparedness and I saw water pouches at a camping store, I thought they were kind of dorky. Like, I didn't understand the purpose. I'm like, well, why wouldn't I carry water bottles? And like I said, it's because if you want these for long-term storage, water bottles will leak and they can get punctured. And so, obviously this get punctured too, but these aren't going to just randomly start leaking like a water bottle would from plastic deterioration. So I have, for one person's backpack, I have 15 pouches is what I've done. So each one of these Ziploc bags has 3 pouches in it. And so, like, obviously that's not going to give you a ton of water per day if this is intended for 72 hours, but it's something. It's something, and it's lightweight. It's something that you have so you know you have water while you're looking for water for your water filter water bottle. And it's got a decent shelf life on it. Like I said, these are 5-year shelf life. So at 15 pouches of these for one backpack is what I have for right now, and I can change that later. That's giving you 5 pouches a day, and that is not a whole lot of water. That's enough that like you could put like one of these pouches in your meals for the day, and then you'd have 2 more to drink. And so like I probably will want to get more of these, but like I said, this is just me starting to refresh these again, as well as I also intend to have a water filter. Other things I have in here, I have one of these little fork spoon hybrid things I got from the camping store that would be good for these. I do have a emergency blanket. I'm a big fan of these in emergency kits, and these are so stinking cheap, it's not even funny. I found these at a lot of places. You can get them on Amazon, you can get them at camping stores. I've also found these at like the LDS bookstore, like Seagull Book. I've seen these there sometimes. So I can't guarantee they always have them at Seagull Book, but they do have them at the Seagull Book near me. So they also have them sometimes in the camping section at Walmart. So there's lots of places, a lot of these kinds of things, like these things, these things, these things, this kind of stuff you can often find at camping stores. Things like Cabela's, Sportsman's Warehouse, Smith & Edwards, things like that are places that you can find these kinds of things. But the nice thing about an emergency blanket specifically is it's going to help keep your body heat in, and that matters. If you're stranded somewhere, if something happens and you're all of a sudden freezing, like this makes a difference. I do pack 2 kinds of blankets though in our 72-hour kits. I have a little fleece one, and I have the emergency one. The reason for that is this one's going to keep body heat in better in an emergency, but these ones are cuddlier. So if it's not super freezing, like this would give you more of a comfort feel. Like this makes you feel like you're a freaking burrito. So like I said, I personally am a fan of packing both, just because if you're in an emergency situation, you are going to want comfort. And they have fleece blankies like this. I got these at Walmart. They used to be about $2.50 each. They recently upped them to maybe $3 each. You can get nicer ones, but these are nice because they're not super thick, so they're kind of compact and you can roll them up. But they do help keep you warm. I used to keep these in an old car that I do not have anymore because the heater didn't work. So I kept extra blankets in there for people to have on their laps. Don't have that car anymore, but that's what I used to keep these in the car for. And so these, like you said, even just the fleece blankets, they're better than nothing, and they will keep you relatively warm. But if you want additional warmth in case it gets quite cold, you will want an emergency blanket to help keep your body heat in. But like I said, I encourage both cuddliness and extra warmth. Other things to consider that I've updated over time: a rechargeable flashlight. This is the squeeze kind. You kind of squeeze it to charge it. So the nice thing I like about these, because my older stuff I had in here, like I said, I've been changing these out over time. This is some of my original stuff. This is a little flashlight, battery powered flashlight I got from the dollar store. It is better than nothing. But this one I don't have to replace batteries for. So like I said, I am trying to make sure that my 72-hour kit is something that I don't have to rotate, that I can worry about other things. So if you just need something and you're starting out, something is better than nothing. But if you want something for a longer term purpose, this might be a better option. You can get stuff like this at camping stores, or sometimes, like I said, I've seen more emergency supply items like this and this at Seagull Book, if you have one of those near you. I got these for about $2 each at Smith & Edwards. So that's the camping store that's closest to me. Other options of things to consider. So if you are wanting to heat something up with fire, to boil water to put in these, this is a little waterproof match container, which I think is a good idea. Just kind of keep it in there and leave it alone. It'll be sealed up, so they should last a long time. And then this is a little metal mug, stainless steel mug that I got. I want to get a metal mess kit in the future, just because those fold into little pots and stuff that I'd be able to heat up for these. But they didn't have the ones I was looking for at the store I was looking at today, and they were kind of expensive, the ones they did have. So this is what I have for right now. It's just a little metal cup, because I could definitely heat this up, dump it in one of those. Worst case scenario, if I didn't have a heat source, I literally can put just a cold water pouch in one of these, mix it up. You can eat it cold. It is still calories. It is still food. It's just some things don't taste as good cold. Other things to consider. If you are a woman like myself, or if you have a woman that you are making a 72-hour kit for your wife or your daughter, or whoever, think of things like feminine products. And a longer term item than that would be something like a menstrual cup. So I will be honest, these are not the most comfortable thing in the world, but if I had no other option, then I'd use it. If this is my only option, I could suck it up and use it. But it definitely has a learning curve to it. So if you have women that are wanting these for their 72-hour kits, I would say have them practice, because they're not comfy. Some people love them. I am not in love with these. I know some people that really like them and they're like, oh my goodness, these are amazing. I don't think they're comfortable, but some people like them. Everybody's different. This is in case this is all I had, then it's fine. But otherwise, I'd rather have a pack of feminine products in my backpack. Another thing I have is this little Ziploc bag with paper plates and utensils and stuff. This was my original mess kit from the 72-hour kit that my mother put together for me. I've kept this, as I've said, changed things up and rotated them over time. I also got a bar of soap. But these are the things that I have for the time being. I'm sure there'll be things I change up, but these are things to think about. Think about long-term food items. Think about water. Think about ways to stay warm. Think about all these kinds of things. Hygiene, light. So I hope that this will give you an idea of where to maybe start with your 72-hour kits, or if you wanted to update yours like I'm doing with mine, so I don't have to rotate it as often. Because seriously, I noticed I was rotating them every 2 to 3 years, and you don't think that sneaks up on you, but it does. And then you're like, oh crap, I need to rotate what's in there. And you know, if stuff got bad after it's been sitting in there, then you just feel wasteful. And so if you just make an investment in something longer term, a little at a time, even if you got let's say you started with cheaper stuff food-wise. Let's say you started with some canned goods or packs of ramen and jars of peanut butter. If you just started with something, and every now and then you just added one freeze-dried pouch of something in there, eventually you could replace the shorter-term stuff with longer-term stuff, so you don't have to keep rotating. Just a thought. But I hope that this was helpful, and I hope you guys have a fabulous day. Bye.